Tune in for Patrick Ching's Painting in Paradise.
Aloha, I'm Patrick Ching, and thank you for joining me on Painting in Paradise. This episode comes to you from Sayulita, Mexico. We'll join ocean artist Wade Koniakowski and friends at his art retreat at Casa Cucana, overlooking the surf and sea. You'll see some of the wildlife of the area, and I'll show you how to paint one of my favorite birds, the brown pelican. Enjoy all this and more in this festive episode of Painting in Paradise! In 2023, I invited one of my favorite artists, Wade Koniakowski, to be a guest artist at my Waimanalo art retreat.
It's a beautiful day when you're greeted in the Hawaiian way. It's a beautiful day here in Hawaii.
We are together because of our appreciation of art. We're sharing this beautiful time together. Mahalo for being with us. And right here on the windward side in Waimanalo.
This year, Wade invited me to one of his retreats in Sayulita, Mexico.
Good. She was super stoked.
Sayulita is located along the Pacific Ocean at the southern end of the state of Nayarit. It is a coastal town with beautiful beaches and nice waves for surfing. Some of us got to enjoy the waves each morning before the art classes began. I really enjoy the sights and sounds of morning in Sayulita, which I got to enjoy from the beautiful setting of the Nomada Hotel. Fishing is a way of life here, and the waters are full of action. This man caught a beautiful amberjack. Art is everywhere in Sayulita, not only on its buildings, but in its cooking and clothing and music. I was delighted to arrive during the festivities for Dia de la Bandera, or Flag Day. Watching the horses and riders called charros were a highlight for me as they performed skilled dance-like movements during the charro parade. And there's nothing like a good old carnival to round out a festive occasion. Being a nature artist, I was very intrigued by the animals I saw, like this big iguana in a mango tree, and some butterflies. It was amazing in Sayulita. Sometimes I had a hard time figuring out what bird was making what noise. This little shorebird really caught my eye as it scoured the sand for something to eat. In Hawaii, we have great frigate birds, but here in Mexico, they have a bigger species called magnificent frigate birds. The birds that really got my attention were the brown pelicans. They would dive bomb the water right close to shore, going after bait fish like sardines. When we return, I'll show you how I painted a brown pelican. For For art, gifts, and lessons, visit patrickching.com. One of Sayulita's most prominent birds are the brown pelicans. You can regularly see them dive bombing the schools of sardines and other bait fish near the shore. I enjoyed seeing the squadrons of pelicans soaring across the sky over the bay. I started this acrylic painting by first mapping out my scene with dark brown paint. Then I painted the blend of the sky, followed by a silhouette of the pelican across the painting. Then I added some wispy clouds. Even though I didn't see them, I thought they'd make the painting nicer. Wade and I liked to sit and overlook the bay while we painted. After painting most of the background, I repainted the dark silhouette of the pelican. Next, I started painting the actual colors of the bird on the dark silhouette. I began to paint the beak lighter in the center, giving it a more round effect. Then I painted a dark line between the upper and lower bill, and then started coloring the feathers. If I forgot how they looked, I just had to look up in the sky. Then I started adding some cool aqua and blue colors under the wing. I kept the acrylic paint thin and transparent by adding some water to it.
My wife's bringing down some paper towels.
Travel far and wide, my friend, I know it won't be long till you find the words to write your own sweet song. Oh, look into
Because acrylic paints dry quickly, you gotta work kinda fast.
to see. Reach out for every hand that calls you to be free.
It was fun to paint all the colors of this beautiful scenery.
I will wait for you, my friend. Lighting my
Because the pelican is the closest thing to us and the center of attention, I wanted to get the lightest lights and the darkest darks on it. Because some parts of the pelican were light and kind of blended in with the sky, I went ahead and put a dark outline on it. Later, I went over those dark lines with some lighter lines that were kind of see-through. This helped the pelican stand apart from the background. Then I added a touch of red to the pouch under the pelican's bill. I used some phthalo green and white to add a glow of reflected light on the pelican's belly. I put some light highlights at the edge of the pelican's wings to set it apart from the background.
Sometimes at the evening tide, I miss your smile, and I wonder what it would have been
And a little color on the feet.
came and stayed a while.
And then I just did whatever I thought would look nice.
Till you find your answers, I will wait for you, my friend.
And finally, I added a squadron of pelicans off in the distance.
Lighting like a seabird in the wind. Lighting like a seabird in the wind.
And there you have a pelican over Sayulita. When we return, we'll start Wade Koniakowski's art retreat at Casa Cucana. For art, gifts, and lessons, visit patrickching.com. Now let's join artist Wade Koniakowski in Sayulita, Mexico.
We're thrilled to be here at Casa Cucana in Sayulita, and it's owned by Summer and Suzanne Paulson. The ladies are really sweet and have had this property for 38 years, built onto it. It's just luscious and perfect retreat site for artists to stay here, paint here, have fun in the evenings. I'm obsessed with this scene. I've painted it probably half a dozen times since I've been here. You know, boats, the ocean culture, and then we paint waves.
Each day, the students look forward to Wade doing one of his amazing painting demonstrations.
A reflection of that. Then I'll come in and put a little bit of darkness in there. Then they're just gonna have this perfect ride. Gonna go up like that and come back there. Okay. Waterfall there. So that's very obscured by a lot of spray, but it's still there. So that's why I say it peaks in and out. This is water with a lot more sand in it. Like in Texas, you see water like this. A lot of silt in the water. And I just do it because I get tired of painting blue all the time. And here I can bring in a lot of yellow ochre. And it's fun. You got to get out of the two-dimensional world and into the three-dimensional world. When you're doing an impressionist landscape and they're far away, you would probably kind of think of it as you know, more like one shape instead of a whole bunch of. And in chroma. This year, Patrick Ching joined us. I've joined him in Waimanalo. He's been a big help for this. Everybody likes him, and we have a lot of fun when we trade off and show up at each other's retreats.
One day, I got to do a demonstration on how to paint the super secret pattern of the sea turtle's back.
And a little smaller on the bottom. And then the front flippers, they're like wings. Kind of big. We need that turtle's gonna be happy if you give him some big front flippers like this, okay? So kind of like that. Oh, cool.
You look like you've done this before.
I like to teach this one because
Yep.
they just go out and teach their parents this right away. Every section is called a scoot, S-C-U-T-E. Can you all say scoot?
Scoot.
S-C-U-T-E. Like anything, your coconut tree, your clouds, the more you pay attention to it, the more you'll understand its anatomy.
Thank you, Patrick. That was awesome. Wow. More often than not, we have beginning to intermediate painters. So a lot of people have painted very little when they show up, and hopefully they will go away with skills to carry on. I want to inspire people to paint because I'm interested in painters who have been painting, that they make a breakthrough that they can build on when they get home. We work a lot on waves because a lot of people think of me as a wave painter. And I've taken methodology, broke it down into simple steps that pretty much anybody can understand. So we do that. We paint a lot of scenes that are places in this area. And we work generally from reference that I bring and I select. And those are like math formulas to me. I've worked them out, so it's easy to teach those.
My name is Pamela Evitz, and I live in Carlsbad, California.
Yeah.
And I first met Wade when he had a little shop, his art shop in Solana Beach, and ever since then I've been really intrigued with his art. So I was so excited when I found him on Instagram, on Facebook, and realized he had these wonderful retreats. And this, I think I've been to at least, I don't know, 3 or 4 different lessons. And the first time I went to Punta Mita, and today we're in Sayulita, just enjoying paradise and doing what we love.
My name is Melissa Garcia, and I'm from South Texas, Corpus Christi to be exact. And I first started going to Wade's workshops in Corpus Christi, Texas, on the island. And I always have so much fun. He makes us laugh a lot during class. And most importantly, each lesson that I've gone to, he teaches a different technique that I can build on in my art. The best thing that I've learned going to Wade's workshops is building upon my previous knowledge, and most importantly, blocking out your painting with color.
You can find Wade Koniakowski's art and workshop on his website at koniakowsky.com. And you can follow him on Facebook and Instagram too. When we return, we'll see what folks painted at Wade Koniakowski's painting retreat in Sayulita, Mexico. Each morning before the painting retreat, Larry and I would get into the ocean and catch some waves. It put us in a good mood for the rest of the day. The air and water temperature was just like it is in Hawaii. Then I'd start my journey to the top of that hill overlooking that beautiful bay. We started each day with a gathering of artists and some beautiful and delicious Mexican food.
We go around and just talk a little bit about our history.
Wait, who's starting first? Or are y'all doing it at the same time on the demos, Patrick?
The air, land, and sea were all bustling with activity.
That's amazing.
In the distance, the whales celebrated by putting on a show.
I think they're humpbacks. Well, I don't know.
Then it was time to paint some pictures and have some fun.
Oh no, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Surfer Larry wanted to work on his waves.
What did you do with your painting? You got it over there? Okay.
Wade shared some memories with some longtime
I said,
friends.
It's not what happened. They were rolling up the window and it just shattered. That's what happened. And oh my gosh, I remember all of them. I'll never forget the year that Tom was graduating. My parents always got us a message.
Up in the sky, a frigate bird was checking out our work.
He was also the same time as that fun.
But you can use them interchangeably that way. Just know that, I mean, if ever you have a shadow area, that should be ultramarine blue. Choppy. And look, it looks painterly. The word for that is painterly. So I think all those people, like, if they don't paint, they look at paintings and go, wow,
Yeah.
that's real magic there.
Yeah.
Now we're going to do the spread. The wave is so cylindrical, it picks up a little highlight in there. Looks like eyes.
After a great week of painting in Sayulita, it was wonderful to see the artists make breakthroughs and finish their work.
Like that? Now that looks like a wave. Okay. Okay, now that does look like, okay.
This is how we say happy birthday in Hawaiian.
And on the last day of our retreat, one of our painters celebrated her birthday.
We have something for the birthday girl.
Oh, thank you. Wow, I love it. Wow.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay, 33.
Happy birthday to you. Bing, and show the inside. Happy birthday to you.
I knew this was
Happy birthday, dear Angela. Happy birthday to you.
So the fiesta began.
Thank you for joining me on Painting in Paradise. I hope you enjoyed learning about Sayulita, Mexico, pelicans, and having a great party with Wade Koniakowski. I'd love to see what you did, so why don't you send pictures of you and your art to my website at patrickching.com. Aloha.